sugar version of the Starlight Coca-Cola. A week or two ago, I did a video and I tasted the regular. And I really wanted the zero sugar one because I go for diet soda over regular. And so I did find it. I had to get a case, but that's okay. And they're these little mini cans. It was a little pricey, not gonna lie. Seriously, it was like $5.99 for a case of 12 of these mini cans, and they're only 7.5 ounces, but whatever, you know, you only live once, YOLO, whatever, okay. So we are going to open this up right away, and I'm going to be chewing gum also, and then I'm going to get to the unpopular opinions. So, if you don't know anything about this soda, it is supposed to be space flavored, which is kind of nondescript. But a couple people have let me know that there is supposed to be like a particular flavor that space is supposed to taste like, something similar to raspberry. But I thought it tasted like cotton candy. But we'll see if this one is similar. So, for this occasion, I have broken out the fancy crystal, and I put ice in it. So, let's do it. There's a little left, but I don't want to overfill it. Okay. It smells like cotton candy. Yeah, same. I mean, it is very, very vague. And I don't think it tastes like cola at all, really. review. I don't like it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe if it makes sense to you, let me know. You know, I'm curious what the heck that's supposed to be about. But, I mean, people should rest in peace. Isn't that what resting is about? Rest in power sounds like I don't know, it sounds kind of evil. You know, why would you be resting in power? What power are you in at that point? I mean, it's really kind of morbid. If you ask me, I would rather just say rest in peace. I'm not gonna drag that one out because it was super strange. People always ask, how do you chew gum and drink soda? If it's mint, it's a no-no. If it's a sweet gum, it's fine, you can do it. Okay. I have a secret love for grammar police comments. I think grammar is pretty important, like, to a certain extent. Like, the really obvious grammar mistakes are kind of annoying. I would never point them out to anyone, because that is super rude. But like the minor ones, like who cares? You know, like if you said me instead of I, like sometimes I know the difference and I use the wrong one purposely, just because it sounds better. And I've decided that I want it that way. But things like if you put things in the wrong tense, that's like annoying to me. Like I don't understand why some people don't know to add like ed to things when it's past tense. Like I'm like, what, didn't we learn that in like 2nd grade? Or didn't we learn that when we learned to talk? Didn't we always know that? We didn't even have to learn it. But do I like reading grammar police comments? No, like they're not interesting. Like who cares? It's rude. You know, it's just rude. If you don't like somebody's grammar, just deal with it, or don't read their stuff, don't watch their videos, whatever. Enough said. Shrimp should never be served with the tail attached. I don't eat shrimp, so I really can't say how it should be. And like, what do you think? You know, like, does it matter? Does it bother you? You know, you either have to like cut off the tail if you're using a fork and knife, or you know, bite up to the tail. I don't know. Is it a problem? I can't say for sure. It must be pretty minor though. Electric cars are not the future. Hydrogen is. We've known this for 30 years. I will start off by saying I know very little about the science behind this, and I don't know anything about hydrogen to power cars. No clue, okay? But I can say this about electric cars. The concept is fabulous, especially now that the gas prices are ridiculously high. And I'm thinking, I gotta get an electric car next because this is like crazy. We can't count on affordable fuel. And I was talking to someone in a store about it, just making casual conversation at the cashier, at the cash register. And, you know, I mentioned, we were talking about the price of gas, and I said something like, we all need to get electric cars, and she said, no. She goes, if everyone had electric cars, where would all okay, maybe she's right. I mean, right now it's just a couple of people here and there that have the electric car, you know. But imagine if every single car was electric. Think about days when it's like 100 degrees out and they say to you, you know, only run your air conditioner at like, you know, certain time periods, and don't do your, you know, don't run your laundry and this and that, like try to conserve the electric because there's not going to be enough and there's going to be like a blackout or a brownout or whatever. So I was thinking there might be some reality to that. Like, I'm not really sure how much electricity we can generate, and would that be an issue? I don't know. Like, I welcome you to tell me in the comments, because I don't know. I don't know the answer. Wish I did. But you guys who watch this channel, so many of you are like geniuses. Like, oh my gosh, you guys don't know the answer. People shouldn't post online publicly if they can't handle getting opposing views in the comments. Yes, that is true. If you post, you know, publicly, you should definitely expect to have people come and tell you that they don't agree with you for X, Y, whatever reason. It can make sense, or maybe it doesn't make sense. Sometimes they are polite, sometimes they are super rude and ridiculous, but you should basically know that it may very well happen. And, you know, you need to kind of have like a little bit of a tough shell for it. Maybe, you know, depending on your audience, you never know. But that doesn't mean that it's okay. It doesn't mean like you can come out there and like tell somebody off in the comments of their video and say, hey, you should expect this because you are online publicly, so I am allowed to like tear you to shreds. Like, no, you know, you can do it because you have free speech. Say whatever you want, but it still doesn't make it right. If you want to disagree with somebody, say it in a decent way, you know? That's all I have to say to that. Like, you should expect it to happen, but it's unfortunate that there are a lot of people out there who are just super, super rude. Or they're doing it for fun. You know, they just want to, like, poke at you and see what you come back with. I have had some real doozies, let me tell you. Most of them I'm just like, shh, but sometimes they get to me. Depends what they say. Watermelon is the best fruit. I do like it a lot. Is it the best? I mean, it's up there. It's definitely up there. What is the best fruit? I don't know, you know. I'd say there are a lot of fruits that I really, really love. So I can't answer that. The age of adulthood should be raised to 20 or 21. I would say no, just leave it as it is. Because the age of adulthood, what does that even mean? It means nothing. You know, what is meaningful are laws that say you have to be 18 to vote. You know, that's a meaningful law. should know who's coming over and kind of cater to them to some extent, right? So if you know your friend doesn't eat X, Y, and Z, then that's not what you would serve that night. More likely, if you invited people over, one of their kids would be super picky, and you would know that, and you would always offer like macaroni and cheese or chicken nuggets or something so that they would have something to eat in addition to what you made for everyone else. But otherwise, what do I care? If I'm with someone who's a picky eater, like if I go to a restaurant with them and they order like, hold to this, hold to that, don't put any oil, blah blah blah, all this stuff, like, do what you want. That's your meal. I don't care. I think the Reddit award system is pointless. I'll tell you what. Reddit is a weird platform. And I don't get it. And I don't care. And I'm done with it. Except for reading like these kind of things off of it. I'm not using it. Like, I have an account that I set up to try to like promote my videos. It is super strange. Like, they have these strange rules, like you have to put certain things in the title a certain way or else they won't post it. Like you have to put brackets around a couple of things and you have to use a couple of very specific keywords or they won't post it. Like whatever, like I figured out how to do that eventually. But anyway, then you get like, points if somebody likes it or if you break a rule by not like putting the things or whatever. I'm not talking about major rules, but if you break a minor rule, they take away points. If people like, follow you, you get points. I got like no points, okay? I don't know. And my videos were never getting clicked on, so I don't, whatever, leave it alone. I like to use it sometimes to read about other things, but it's not working for me as any kind of like social marketing strategy. Unconditional love is impossible. Okay. I disagree. Let me refill my soda. That's it, it's empty. Okay. Unconditional love, okay. It's totally legit. I mean, I think it is mainly reserved for extremely close relationships. Not like you fall in love with, a new guy or new girl. You've been in love for like a little while. Maybe there's not going to be unconditional love there. Something goes wrong, you fall out of love. Done deal, right? But if it is your child, your parents, your sibling, your spouse, maybe on the spouse, okay, because I know a lot of people get divorced, but it could be on the spouse too, but these other ones that I mentioned, unconditional love is definitely a thing. People have a different place where the unconditional love will end, though. Maybe for some people it would be never. But for other people, certain things that the person could do might lead them to fall out of unconditional love. So, for example, you love your child no matter what. You might not like what they're doing. They might be totally going against all of your values, but you still love them. Even though maybe tires you out, you still love them. And that might be forever, no matter what. There are a lot of cases where the loved one commits murder and you still love them unconditionally, even though you are 1000% against what they have done. You are astounded and you are ashamed and everything, but you still love them. I have even heard of some cases where the child has killed either their sibling or one of their parents, and the other parent still has the unconditional love for the child. Sometimes it works that way. Sometimes that's where the person draws the line, and that's like, I hate them now. That's it. The unconditional love is no more. So it depends, but I do believe in unconditional love. Working a 9 to 5 is sometimes better. I'm seeing everywhere, start your own business. Don't work for someone else. Be your own boss. Sometimes that's a good thing, just going to your decent paying 9 to 5, getting your check and repeat. Yeah, I could see that. I wouldn't say it's always better, but like they said, it's sometimes better. Yes, of course. If you have, like they said, a decent paying 9 to 5 job, it can be a lot less stressful to go to your job, do your job, get your money, go home, and repeat. As opposed to you have your own business. It could wind up being something you have to deal with 24/7, you know. Let's say you own a store and it's open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That doesn't mean that you're done after those hours, you know. You still have to deal with anything that could go wrong in the building, and you still have paperwork at the end of the day. You have to pay the bills for it. You have to deal with vendors. This one says Facebook UI is atrocious. I have no idea what that means. If you know, tell me. UI. Nope, not a clue. Cigarettes smell pretty good. I don't think so. I mean, that is definitely an unpopular opinion. Like, legit. I mean, I'm sure there are people who think so, of course. Especially, like, I know people who have just quit smoking. And they smell cigarettes like, oh, that smells so good, you know? But most of us don't like the smell of cigarettes, especially like the smoke. If it's not just like the lingering smell, but the smoke itself is, unpleasant for most people. And the lingering scent is unpleasant as well, like if it is on someone's clothing. You know, even if you are a smoker, it doesn't mean that you like the scent, like that you would want your hair to smell like cigarettes, or your clothes, or your hands, you know? So I'm gonna say, yeah, that person has an unpopular opinion, but yet not unheard of. Okay, one more. I think Breaking Bad is overrated. Okay, so that is kind of an old opinion to be talking about now, because the show ended a while back and it's not really like trendy right now to talk about it. But interestingly enough, I am currently rewatching it for like the third time right now, because I can't find anything that is super good to watch, and so I decided I would give this another watch. And I am just as happy with it as I was the first time around. And it's been long enough so that it's not like repetitive to me or boring, and I am just thrilled with it. And I am now on the beginning of the 4th season. There's 5 seasons. I love that show. Love, love, love. It is so good and so amazing to me how they came up with these just such unique ideas. All the different turns of event are so unexpected. So I don't agree with that person, but of course there's gonna be people who, think it's overrated. It's not for everyone, But seriously, it's the kind of show where if you think it's not for you, it still might be. Like, I would never have thought I would want to watch this show about a high school chemistry teacher who turns into a crystal meth cooker. It sounds awful. It sounds like it's not up my alley, but I surprised myself. It is an amazing show. It is literally up there with like my top choices. Alright, one more sip of soda. Pretty good. Would I buy another case for $5.99? No. I just really wanted to try the zero sugar version.